Happy Friday, folks, and welcome back to the random video blog where every single Friday I, Graham G.S. Matthews, run down my rambling wrestling thoughts, share a few stories, etc., etc. And here today, only 8 days out from my college graduation, which is fucking hard to believe. I started doing these video blogs my freshman year of college 3 years ago, so it's crazy to think that we're almost there. But here today, I'm bringing back an old series of sorts, bringing back the installment number 9 here today of a series I started freshman year, again, coincidentally enough, 3 years ago. You never know who might be a wrestling fan, talking about experiences that I've had where I discover people who are wrestling fans that I never thought would be wrestling fans in just the weirdest places, including right here at college. So if you're one of those people who is currently in high school, currently in college, going to college, wherever, even if you're out of college or out of school, whatever, and you're an adult, you never know where you might find a wrestling fan, whether it be at work, maybe not necessarily at home, but around your home and just random places when you're out. Specifically when you're a fucking mark like me and you wear wrestling shirts pretty much all the time, or at least sometimes out in public. I literally wear almost nothing but wrestling shirts 24/7, so it's pretty easy to tell that I'm a wrestling fan. But about 2 months ago, I was having dinner with my roommate Connor, and I walked by some kid in a booth on my way to go to a booth to go eat, and the kid was staring at my CM Punk shirt, or no, the Bullet Club shirt that I had on that night. I'm like, what is this kid want something? Is he checking out the shirt? Like, what's up? Usually, I don't really assume anyone's a wrestling fan, so I assume people just look at the shirt for the fuck of looking and whatever. I'm like, okay, just leave me alone, whatever. And then he was sitting right in back of us, and he turned to me and goes, hey, is that a Bullet Club shirt? I'm like, oh, the kid's a wrestling fan. And he's like, were you the same kid that was wearing a CM Punk shirt around this time a week ago? And I was like, yep, that was me. I'm the fucking Mark wearing the CM Punk shirts and the Bullet Club shirts, all that other shit. And we were talking back and forth. He joined us for a little while. We talked for like maybe upwards of an hour sitting in that booth when my roommate took off. We were just talking all this random shit. He was saying how we hadn't watched the product in a long time. He loosely kept up with it through like the WWE's Facebook page and all that other shit, yet he seemed to know quite a bit about the product, so I'm not saying he watches the product, because he said he didn't have the network. He doesn't have the network. He joined us, RJ and myself, for Fastlane the following night. So, again, going back about 2 months ago, which was an absolutely atrocious pay-per-view, which I talked about 2 months ago, right here on the channel, my top 10, top 7 least favorite pay-per-views as a WWE fan. Check it out. But it was pretty funny, just the fact if you fucking know who the Bullet Club is, and he said he stopped watching years ago, like after Punk left and all this other shit. If you know who the Bullet Club is and you know what's going on here and there in NXT and shit, you probably are a pretty, not a diehard wrestling fan, but you probably know what's going on. You probably just don't want to admit it. But he knew what he was talking about. He had been watching back in the Attitude Era. He watched the WCW stuff. He was a freshman. I thought he was a lot older than that. I thought he might have been either our age as a senior or at least a junior or sophomore. The kid was a freshman. So, which again is funny, going back to where I was 3 years ago. I talked about meeting RJ, Mr. Marceau, here at Endicott College 3 years ago, my freshman year. Seeing him wearing a Daniel Bryan t-shirt, and we just befriended each other from that point forward. When I was a freshman, at that point, he was a sophomore. But you never know. You could be a freshman. You could be a senior. You're always finding wrestling fans, especially at school. Again, they're far and few between nowadays in 2017, just because wrestling's not the cool thing to watch anymore. It's not the cool thing to like. But you never know where you might find a fan. So always be on the lookout for wrestling fans, whether you're at work, whether you're at school, just in any random place, whether you're wearing a shirt or not. There's two types of fans. There's fans that just either don't know that it's not real or don't know that it's scripted or whatever, which I've had quite a few experiences with, which I might talk about in future videos and whatnot. But the first time I brought back this series in quite a few months, and as my college career comes to an end, I figured it'd be only fitting to talk about it here on today's random video blog. So that being said, I got to get going to lunch right now in mere minutes. So that being said, guys, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, share the video. All that stuff is amazingly appreciated. And above all else, share your own stories in the comments on Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc. All the links are down in the description box. Your own experiences meeting wrestling fans in random places, whether you anticipated it or not. I would love to hear your side of the story, your stories in meeting wrestling fans all across the world. So that being said, guys, have a phenomenal Friday. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.